by the way, so I can't see my self view. So if you need me to change it, just let me know.
Oh, hang on. This is running.
Oh, great. Well, yeah, it's what we want when we're going live on Facebook. You're live, just so you know. Welcome to- Oh, we are
These are not
welcome.
the
If you
Kardashians.
think first impressions count, do you think first impressions count? That is the question. Inga's wiping her nose. We're laughing. We are the Magical Sisters. This is Inga and I'm Sal. No one really gives a fuck. You actually don't want to start like that. You want to start with, do you know first impressions count? That's how we should start when you're going live. But we've both had one of those days
One
where
of
it's,
those days.
well, I'm the morning Australia, Inga's in Utah. One of
It's a
those.
new moon. Did you know that? It's a new moon today.
Well, that's the great, I love new moons. New moons are the activation point, right? The activation point for calling in what you want. So we're celebrating today. I guess, in a way, we are calling in as well. You know, when we have those shit mornings and you've got to show up on camera, you want to have a little something in your toolkit, right? That you can just pull out and show up because and first impressions count. And today is our first day of 12 days of Christmas. And oops, 12 days of holidays. I think we're taking the Christian element of 12 days of Christmas. They probably took it from someone anyway, the Christians. They've only been around 2,000 years. Not to diss them, right? But like
Yeah, right.
just you know, we're we're spiritualists across any, whatever, happy Hanukkah. The reality is all people, all one. And interestingly, because I'm doing the YouTube show with Yvette and we're up to, editing early, obviously, um, the gate that comes up for the week of the end of this year,
Yeah.
um, about the time when we're going to end this 12, celebrating 12 women, basically. We're celebrating 12 women, a woman a day, and we're offering a hot tip gift for your first impressions count moment. So if you're watching, hi, let us know where you're from.
Hi. Hi. I've just you know when you have like those mornings and you just like struggling to like focus on one thing. And you're talking, I'm like going, how did we get to the 12? And it started with 12 days of Christmas, because like I'm a mum, you're a mum. We're like, yes, the 12 days of Christmas. And we're like, oh no, we can't do 12 days of Christmas. We've got to do all the holidays and stuff like that and honor all those other belief systems that people have. Um, Christmas for us was always just lovely gifts, right? Um, I had a friend who was
In
anyway,
fact,
whatever.
you and I did a bad thing when we were little.
Do you know I'm going into that? Tell you what, if you're here with us for every day of 12 days and you comment, then we'll DM you what we did when we were bad.
Oh no, I'm good with it because I know that our hearts were always wanting to give many, many gifts. You know,
Yes. So gift giving for sure, right? Yeah. Gift
yeah.
giving this type of season. I do, yeah, I thought your point about the what it was before Christianity was interesting, right? I wonder what they did going into where I'm in the northern hemisphere, so going into winter for me, the Sal's in the southern hemisphere. So sisters, but on opposite sides of the globe. So you're going into high summer.
Yeah.
So different, right? In the lead up
Well,
to
there's
all
the
those.
solstice, right? So we know that there's that longest day of the year, shortest day of the year. That obviously happens as well for every human. Nobody gets to escape the bloody planet. Just
Yep.
FYI, except maybe Elon Musk, right? Like, well, anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. But or, Richard Branson, I mean, he wants to escape the planet as well. Why would you want to escape the planet? Let's care for it, people, for Jesus. Sorry, no fly. Anyway, I just want to go back to at this particular point of year that Yvette's come up with because she like does the transits and the gates and how it affects your marketing, but it's from human design and it's looking at all these ancient wisdoms sort of wrapped up together. And this time of year is actually about self-love, authentic self-love. So it is about retreating and going. And everybody sort of does quieten down no matter where you are. Like even if you're not in the Western world and in the Western belief systems of Christianity, let's say, there's a big commercial reality that place goes a little bit quieter until the next you know,
I
right.
used to love London at the end of the year. Everyone used to bugger off from London. All the people who were visiting or have families abroad would leave, and it was like a ghost town. I just loved it. It was so nice. So yes, it was quiet. Even
Which is a
probably
huge melting pot town, right? Like,
yeah, huge. And it was a ghost town. It was just like I used to joke you could see tumbleweeds going down the Mall, right? It was
mm.
lovely. Really nice. Anyway,
So,
so you're quieting down.
well,
Does
that's
it
not a
quiet
bad
down
segue.
in
Like,
Australia though, with the
what?
summer? Does it
What?
quiet down in Australia with the summer? Doesn't
Well,
it,
Sydney, of course, is pumping. Like
right.
Sydney's, well, it's our summer. So, it'd be like
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
4th of July is that quiet. No, it's like, but I think one of the things, the last memory I have of our mother, who died of cancer, which is kind of how we sort of end up doing what we're doing, which is visibility coaching. Believe it or not, what we do is we help women get on camera confidently, congruently, consistently show up to make that solid, memorable impression. And really, today, I think we are going to celebrate. We said we'd do this for 15 minutes because Inga's got a time limit and we've probably rabbited on for way too long already.
Yeah,
But
no,
this
we're
is who we are. This is who we are. And in the new media of the new world of media where everybody has the ability to get on live, to broadcast and be you, there's words out there that saying, like wherever the platform is that you exist and you interact with for your work, whether you're a corporate woman or you were ex-corporate and so it's LinkedIn, or whether you love imagery and you're in Pinterest and Instagram, and you love the inspiration and you love the kind of really watching, whether it's this platform of Facebook, whether it's YouTube, and we'll broadcast to all of them. And there's so many different places where you can be, whether it's just the Zoom room, whether you're podcasting now. It doesn't matter where you are, the camera gets turned on. And if you're a Gen X, Gen Y, or baby boomer, we're particularly focused on supporting and helping women from those generations, because we have a very different idea of being on camera. We have a very different idea of looking, aesthetic of looking, where our brains have been trained a certain way. And so there's this thing that comes up where you can feel really something's not right in the frame. Like you can kind of have a sense of it, but you don't know how to fix it or change it. And you're sort of throwing spaghetti at the wall to make it look good. Well, Inga's a stylist. That's talking of London, where she learnt styling, and she was styling from the age of 2, really. But
where I first got paid to be a stylist. I think I
that's
was,
where you
yeah,
first got paid to be a
stylist
stylist.
for a long time before that.
And in the music video era, so we love video, right? So we're really talking about video here. Inga can style you outside your room and whatnot, but that's not our jam as the Magical Sisters. The Magical Sisters, what we love to do is the before and after for you, for whatever it is that's coming up. So we're celebrating an awesome lady today. What do you remember about Patty when she first showed up into our world? Patty Casper.
Oh, Patty's just the most inquisitive person ever. And she had this background that was just like really super distracting, right? You were kind of like watching her kind of trying to do that all the time. But just always loved her inquisitiveness and her curiosity and her um verve, really, I suppose you'd say. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean? What you mean like
Well,
that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, what we're talking about is your first impression, right? Like, so what do you first remember about Patty when she came
It
into
was
the
that background. It was reading. Like she had a background that would read and she would move her hands and then she was conscious of it and all that kind of stuff. And actually my first impression was that she could just be so much more visually.
right?
Be really easy for it to be more visually.
Yep. Okay, so
Is, to say it could be attractive and then it would capture your attention and that you would be open to what she was talking about or saying. Really.
Patty's limitations were that she was stuck in a particular space in her house. And so if that's you want to listen up. Like if you're like, this is the only place where I can put a light up, where
Yeah.
I can have quiet, this is the only room in the house where we can do this, then you want to have a look at the massive shift and change that can take place very easily in one of our favorite cheats, which is to if you've got no budget, if you've got limited space, if you've got limited time. Patty's also a carer. Like, she cares for her elderly mum. She's
Mhm.
got a service dog. She's got a partner, a husband, I believe. Um, she's got a big life. She works with helping foster agencies, and her mission is massive. It's fetal alcohol syndrome disorder, FASD. Now, if you haven't heard of it, I hadn't heard of it either. So this is one of the reasons why you might have something that's very important to share that people don't know about, and you want to get it out there. Video is the way to go. It's absolutely 100% the best opportunity you have to be heard and seen. All right, I'm finding one here where I just wanted to show you. This is where Patty was starting out. Um,
So we're
what
going
did
to do
you,
a
what did
before.
you, pardon?
You're going to do a before photo of what
Yeah, I'm
Patty.
going to show people. I just hung up on myself though, which is classic. I just got out of the thing where I needed to be. We do not profess to have virtual assistants or anything like that helping us on this. It's just literally an impromptu celebration and before and after kind of makeover to give you a sense of what's possible for you. Because today, where Patty is she just told me FASD, the organization for fetal alcohol syndrome disorder, there was a bidding war on her book, and she won. And so that's the book that they're featuring throughout the next whatever they're featuring people. She didn't have a book beforehand. She's now got a YouTube channel. She started that. Once she had her background, she was confident and felt the authority within herself to start really going broad. And then she started the podcasting. I remember.
Yeah, no, I do feel that she's always really been great at exploring lots of different avenues. And I think that for Patty, once she was working with us, I feel that dialing in, because like as women, right, you get so sort of caught up in what am I going to wear and all that kind of stuff. And it's important. We know it's important. It just is, right? Or maybe you're in total, like, I don't care what I'm wearing, right? But I feel that once we dialed in her background, and for Patty, we did signature style as well. So we did background and signature style, and we gave her one outfit that she had to wear, right? Today we're looking at her background as the before and after. But I feel that that really helped anchor her in, and then she could then continue to explore what platform she was going to use and work on her book and things like that, knowing like she had that comfort factor of knowing that when she had to go live or when she was going to do video,
She just said
um,
it made it easy for her.
yeah, it just made it easy because she just didn't have to think or think on anything like that, and she knew it looked good and professional, and she came across well.
I think it's the professionalism of it and the authority, right? That was for me when it was like when she popped, when we tried a range of different, we go through a whole program to do this, right? She came and joined the private program that we do. It's a group program that we do, Evolve. And through that, there's we evolve through a mood board. And I'm going to show you this over each sort of the next 12 days. You'll see a little piece of each of the puzzle. But what we know to be true is you start with your background. And so we thought we'd start with someone who had really nothing to go with, right? Isn't that true? Like, she
Yeah,
had nothing to start with.
yeah, yeah.
And the Zoom background that people put up, it's a lot of real estate for people's eyeballs. So
That's
I've just
a,
got this massive blue, and you can see, right?
yeah.
Inga, what are you seeing? It's like,
What are we looking for? Are we looking for the before for Patty?
I've got all of them. I'm going to show all of them um, because of the way that you evolve a style, right?
Oh my gosh, you can do everything?
No, but because she was in the group program, she doesn't have our mood board and what we would normally do for the private. So this is like, you have to see the evolution because I can't just pull up her mood board and show, right?
Oh, we're just going to do before and after. Before, after. We also want to give you a snapshot of what it might be like to work with us.
Well,
Magical.
it's not so much that, I mean, I think the reality is we'd love to work with people, but this is Facebook. And so there's people here that are never going to work with us, but I want you to walk away with one thing that you love and can change and can see that you take away from the fact that this piece here, this is big real estate. Big real estate. Inga's a stylist, so
Right? It creates
she's
quite an impression, right? Wouldn't you say?
wouldn't you say, now that we've drawn your
Yeah. Think about like just the size of your face, right?
right?
One, two, probably another three, four there, five, six, seven. There's a lot of space. I think that's a really good way of putting it. Then you get to think about what we're going to put in, what story are we going to tell in all of that space?
Yeah.
Because on video, you have that first 3 seconds, right?
Yeah, and I think I'm sorry about the messy, but you want to see this is one of Patty's, like this was her branding when she stepped in with us. This was what she was doing. She had a different kind of podcast that she was talking about, and we helped her really hone in. Well, what is it you're doing? What is it you're really passionate about? What is it that you want to actually create? Because that's what you want to focus on. Who are you trying? What are you trying to change in the world? What impact do you actually want to have? And then here's Patty going live, but I didn't want to show that. I want to go back to my screen because this was Patty starting to look for a Zoom background, right? She starts bringing up these browns and stuff because it's a color that, she thought looked good on her, right? And it does, by the way. But what would you say? Like, it's not what looks good on you to wear to a wedding or to wear to a job interview or even to wear to the coffee shop or shopping or down the street when you're on video in a professional sense. Like if you're showing up as a beginner who's a professional, people will still pay you. But if you're showing up as an amateur, then people don't pay amateurs. That's just the way it goes. So, Inga we do color and style. We have like, the big color swatches that we bring for people. Like, there's lots of ways that we help you understand this and get it right. So what do
Sorry.
you got? What do you
You
got?
look like, do you remember Aussie? Was it Daryl and Aussie? He
Oh
used
my
to just
God.
throw stuff. That was a blast from the past. I had a
Well,
moment there.
talking about array, like there we go. That's really sets
Yeah.
the scene. And this is the cultural references that boomers, Gen Y, and Gen Xers, we all have our own references. And so you can play with that and use that in your video and in your frame. Your brains have got stuff that you've been fed visually. And so we have to make the brain relax and listen to what it is that's being said, and so that you're in the frame and that you've got the authority. We could say like the leading lady of your life, the frame, your business. So this is where Patty starts. And then we go through this process of we land this background. She's got an authoritative place. She's coming. She wants people to listen to her expertise. So having a background that says, I'm well read, I'm educated, I've got the authority to do this, really offers something very different. And the background, if you light yourself well and you learn how to where to put your eyes in the frame, that's really important on a Zoom background, isn't it, Ing? Like there is
Yes.
no point. Well, you're a little bit, I just like calling you out a little bit because you're a little bit slouchy, like you can see that you're then in the corner, right? So you want to stay upright, particularly if you're framed in the Zoom. So then Inga's like, do you remember this top?
Yeah. I think we dialed in the background pretty good. It popped. And then we moved from sort of the more reds and browns that Patty would typically wear because she gets complimented in them, right? So it's a good example here of like the things that people say look good on you sometimes don't work as well on camera in these sorts of
Because
parameters that
we're using this and that. Like it's not just one thing, right?
yeah. And so I think we went to the blue top, right? She had a teal top in the end. Yeah, lovely. And I think even in the first shot that you'd shown of her, like kind of website page and things like that, she'd done that typical thing where she'd taken her glasses off. Oh, thank you, darling. She took her glasses off for the photograph, something like that. But then when you're working on Zoom or you're working on screen, sometimes by the time we hit a certain age, we need our glasses on to be able to see the screen, right? And so we worked on just, accepting that. And I think she had one or two different pairs of glasses. And so we worked on which one would look best for her with the blue top. And it just sort of for me, this just works really well. Suddenly she just looks like
I
the
think you can
professional.
see it. You can see we're here, we're just like, it's a white face and red top. And here it's Patty.
Bam.
Shazam!
Shazam and Shabam and Halagaloo Balam.
And I and I love that. I love that. Like you said, Patty was a real doer. Um, got in, took action, really, really passionate, really wants to affect change, sees that she's got this legacy work that she can do, takes on private clients. I spoke to her this week, we chatted, and we'll put her podcast link down there if you're interested in fetal alcohol syndrome disorder. She's got lots of experts that want to now come and work with her. She's not it's amazing, right? She's not that before and after. I think for Patty, let me see if I can pull them actually out. When you stand them side by side, the authority becomes very clear, right? That, can I screenshot it? Contact sheet, there we go. Okay, I'm going to pull up the share screen again, because if you really think about having a look at the authority piece here, oh, what was that? You can tell, I think I'm going to have to do these on Canva if we're going to do this all week to show people, because you really want to have that sense. Oh, here, can you see now that I've put them sort of side by siding? Give us a hand.
No, it's a little bit trimmed up. I mean, you get a sense of it, but not really. It's not
Like that.
great. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a big difference in terms of like how she's coming across, right? It's undeniable.
Yeah, and I think people want to work with people who are going to value their time and their money and their expertise, particularly in podcasting. People want to be respected and be with other people who are respected. And visually, we take in 80%. Communication is 80% visual. And so I think you can just see the before and after. I just want to celebrate her incredible. And she did all of this really, really quickly. She went for it. And in 90 days, she was out and podcasting, and with ease. She jumps on camera, and that just took out a whole piece for her that she had been really struggling with for a long time. So I'm super.
I'm remembering she took a lot of these colors through to her book as well, so that when
She
she's
did.
talking and she's being interviewed and she's got her book there, it's got that ideal crossover where you're representing yourself in your branding, right? Sometimes you don't always have to be doing that, but for Patty, it was really nice, and it was a really nice flow on to the work that she's doing now.
Let me just pull up.
Confess.
And I mean, look, I don't want to honestly sort
That's
of.
a problem too, where maybe they did do something, but it was minor.
I want to pull up. Sorry for the big fat ass pause in that. This is her on her YouTube, right? Channel. Because why am I showing this? I'm showing this because you can see here that this guy's like she introduces him. He's like a big FASD expert, but who looks like
Fab.
Who's the authority? Who's the authority here? Patty is the authority, and to our visual mind. And so part of that in her performance is to be generous to the other people and realize that she's probably coming across with more authority. So in a way, you do have to really be generous to your people. And she is that. She really does her research on them and she chooses her people wisely. And so if you're podcasting, just to be mindful that if you're filling the frame amazingly and you're the authority, you want to also bring the other person up. And we say, you learn enough of the principles, you can help them to also look better because, it's not to be competitive, it's to reach the message better for the audience that you're trying to connect with. That's the ultimate aim. And that's where as filmmakers and stylists and we understand the power of the character, the story, the color, the framing, the perspective, all of the things. So, but the first number one thing, big piece of real estate, you can just really have a better impact visually and stand out in the crowd.
Beautiful. Sorry, I put myself on mute. I've got the dogs going crazy in the background.
This is working from home, people. This is what happens. So that's our celebration for today.
That's our celebration.
Jump on into the Facebook group if you want to connect more, and there is tools and resources in there, which is where Patty started. We didn't know Patty jumped into the Facebook group, she did a challenge, she got the resources, she was an action taker, and now she's having success. She has her 2 clients, she has her podcast, she's got her book launched. This is possible for you too. But most of all, Patty, we wish you so. I was going to give you one hot tip. When I watch your podcast, my one hot tip for you and for everybody when you're a podcaster is to pause and let the other person speak for longer than you. And really listening for the gem that you don't know, because we often come so well prepared. And what you want to hear is something you don't know, because that'll excite your curiosity. And nothing breeds magnetism quite like curiosity. Your curiosity delights other people's curiosity. And when people are curious, they'll be affected emotionally because the brain doesn't know something. And so it's learning something new. So everything's up like, woo! And that's important. So you want to get people, woo!
Vibes. Beautiful.
You get the energy up, the excitement, the emotional connection, because in person, that's what we have. And podcasts are so intimate, you can hear it in the voice, right? And so that listening, that's what I would do. I would concentrate on what's something he's going to say that I just have no idea about. Like you're listening out for that with purpose. Trusting yourself that you know the questions to ask, that if there's a big pause, you can handle it because you can. I've seen you know so much. So I'm wishing you so much success for 2024. I really feel this is the year you blow up. Don't give up. Get out there, go live, people. This is the week where you really want to be giving your gifts to the world and being able to receive gratitude back for those, however that shows up, with more engagement, more audience, more money in the bank, whatever it is for you, more love coming down the comments, whatever it is for you. May you receive your gifts this week. Hey, tomorrow, come back and tune in. Tomorrow we are doing, Inga, who are we doing?
I really wanted to say same bat time, same bat channel, but we started late today. So but earlier than this bat time.
Yeah, we had too much of a big day going on. So,
well, and I think that's just part of the loveliness of this new paradigm that people are working in and working remote and stuff like that. You can kind of call your own shots and make your own time a little bit more than we all used to.
I think that's probably just what we say to justify ourselves, but it is true.
Oh, I think it's true. I see lots of ladies just sort of kind of doing it in their own time a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true.
There's a lot more leeway, I think, than there used to be.
So tomorrow we are stepping in with another goddess that just had small tweaks to do, but she was an introvert. And so an introvert who went live, and this might be you too. And so many opportunities to use the new medium and be visible, even though it just means having your message heard, having your message found, people being able to find you. That's ultimately what we're talking about. People are searching for something.
So tomorrow we're going to be looking at, if you're an introvert, you want to come on and watch and see how this lady just managed to do it.
I love
Bye.